Happy Saturday, folks. Just coming today to share a quick tutorial with you, an easy DIY bracelet if my kitty would happily leave my stuff alone, which he never does. Sorry about that, folks. So recently I've been making these bracelets from the bracelets that we were all hauling from Tuesday mornings, those ruby violet bracelets that are double-sided. I have been making shabby chic bracelets, and I've been wearing these around and people are loving these, and so I made some for the store, and believe it or not, people really love these. So of course this one, it's pretty simple, except the things that I gather for it are not so simple. Like this is a vintage earring from the 1920s. It was on a clip-on bridal pieces, lace and trims, and then these were actually cut out of fabric. Little tiny details cut out of fabric, believe it or not, with these itty-bitty, teensy-weensy tiny scissors, because they're so detailed and I didn't want to hurt anything. So a lady in one of my groups had asked if I would show how I was doing these, and so I thought I would come and do a really fun tutorial on just decorating these, and I picked out a couple things to do too. So the first one I'm going to do is I'm actually going to, use this orange bracelet, because you know what, it's okay, no one's gonna see it anyway. The back side, I believe, is the pink, so I'm just gonna keep it the pink because it's a little bit more of a desirable color. I am going to, I believe, I gotta make sure, I think, yeah, so these clasps have to be on the outside, so maybe I actually won't. I think I will cover this and keep the orange underneath. So what I do is I actually just put glue on the bracelet itself, and I'm using the 3-in-1, or the 3-in-1? The 3-in-1 beacon glue, the best glue I've ever used. One of my friends got me stuck on it, and I'm really excited about it. So I just glue that down, and I picked this really pretty piece of burlap that, I believe it or not, I got from Walmart in clearance. So I thought that was a really good deal. So what I do is I just glue it down, just like that. Now this is a tack glue. It does glue quick. So if you need to reposition anything, you know, you have a little bit of time, but it's a little bit better than hot glue because you have that time to reposition. Now, I don't know if you can see this through the video or not, but here's where the actual snap is, where you need that accessible. So I take my little scissors and I just cut a little bit into it before I glue the last piece down. So I go ahead and I do that, and I kind of get it off so you can see the clasp, because that's important. We need that there. So then I lift and I put glue around the edges of that so we can make sure it sticks, and I put it back down and I adhere it. And I push down those itty bitty little flyaways a little bit, just so that my piece is showing through. Now the glue is transparent. It looks wet there, but it will dry clear. And then I take my scissors. Let's just cut this off and then we'll fussy cut it in a second. So then I just take and I just kind of round it, just like the bracelet's rounded. Just like that. Because you won't really see that when it's clasped anyway. So I round this one too. There we go. So now, when it is clasped, it looks like that. That will be the base of the bracelet. So for this, I guess I need to wipe away some of this glue. This glue is very, very, very sticky. Sorry, folks, for my mess and the shakiness of the camera. Glue is very sticky, but it is really good. I mean, it glues metal and fabric and things that you just normally wouldn't get glued. It glues too. So here I just picked a couple things. I cut out some burlap to make some flowers, and these were some pieces that I had gotten from the store Gone Artsy. So I'm just going to cut these little pieces off so these are separated. See what I mean by the itty bitty scissors? Very, very, very important. So now that those are cut, I'm actually going to glue them just like that. And you can use the beacon glue. Sorry, folks, I'm out of frame. You can use the beacon glue again to do the same thing, which is what I'm going to do. I just glue the outsides. Now, I glue them fully down later, once I have placed them where I want them. And I glue like the little petals and stuff, these little pieces down later after I see what my center is going to be. So I glue them down like that. So those are the round pieces of the bracelet. Then and the center piece, obviously, because I do have one for the center. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that one and put this one in the center. Even if it overlaps other ones, it's okay, because I need it to be overlapping anyway. So we're going to now build our flower for the center, which would be the burlap. And like I said, a little bit of this glue goes a really long way. So I just want to make sure. Oh, actually, we put the burlap down. Then we put this down. Sorry, folks. I was doing it backwards. Okay. So then we have another piece of burlap. I've already kind of glued this and taken it apart like 3 times. I haven't done really a lot of tutorials, so it's kind of my new thing for me. So then I didn't have a smaller applique, but I have this really pretty flower that I'd cut out of a doily that I thought, ooh, this will be good for this bracelet. So I'm going to put it in like that. And then there's another piece of burlap to put like that. So we're starting our flower. And then what I did was I found this really pretty heart button in my bridal stuff. I don't know if you can see that really well, but I thought, how pretty would that be for the center of this? Sorry, I'm going to do the glue off camera. Just makes it easier for me to hold it right in front of my face. And look how pretty that is. So now we have a bracelet. And this glue, thank God it doesn't glue right away like hot glue, but I can stick it right there and let it sit. And we will have this bracelet, and it will be so pretty on. I think you put it this way. But look how pretty that is with the burlap. I just haven't seen anything with burlap. It doesn't look as pretty like this, but when it is on your wrist, it is really pretty. So there's just one basic one just to make out of your scraps. The next one I'm going to show you is a little bit more fancier, and these are made out of scraps as well. I made this shabby chic flower out of some tooling fabric and this vintage earring. Well, there's 2 actually. I just decided to use them both. And this was one of those stretchy bracelets that you can get, you know, out of the Michael's $2 bracelet thing. And I thought, ooh, how pretty is that? So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's, 5 on each. So what I do is I actually spread this apart. And I'm going to cut right here because they actually do cut. And look at that. Stretchy, but they still cut. So I thought, ooh, how fun is this? So what we're going to do is we're going to glue this down first. And of course, cut around the edges. I like that this is like it's like a champagne-y pink on one side, and it's really pink on the other. So I like the champagne-y pink better because I think it'd be prettier. But we will use this side just because it makes it easier for the gluing part. And that's okay, because it's okay if a little pink shows, right? We like pink. Well, most of us do anyway. I have a couple blue ones that I've been making too. So, all right, so we're going to go ahead and just take the piece of lace and just go right over the top of that and lightly tap it down so it tacks and doesn't stick to your fingers. And then again with the scissors, cut away from that snap, which is really important so you guys can actually wear it. You know, I should have made these for prom season. I think if I would have made these, because a lot of people are doing the Great Gatsby and a lot of the new fashions are all lace. I think if I would have made these with matching boutonnieres, I think the kids would have just loved that. So there's that. So now the snap works. So then I'm going to flip it over again, and I am going to snip and snip at a little bit of an angle. Not a full angle, but a little bit. Just so it doesn't like snag with themselves when you clip it or when you clamp it down on your wrist. I do like these little bracelets because they do have 2 clasps. So you can pick the size. Okay, so that's a little still tacky. It's starting to dry. It's starting to stick to my fingers. I have glue fingers. So now here comes these fun pieces. So I'm going to take the pieces that are a little bit loose, like these, as where those are not. And I am going to stick it right here. And then I'm going to stick the other one right there. Because the center will be covered. See, the center will be covered. So I'm going to stick a glob of glue here, just to go to there, and one right there. I'm eyeballing this. I'm hoping that this is actually the right length. I'll do a little bit on these little guys, just to be safe. Look, see, stuff's already sticking to me. And then I'm going to lay that down and flatten this out. And I think that, by golly, I did it. Okay. So then we're going to do the same thing to this side, just to make sure that it's kind of even. Hi, baby kitty. I know. Mommy's doing a video and you don't like it. I figured it out, folks. He thinks I'm talking to him because there's no one else in the room. So he's realized that, hey, Mommy's talking to me on the video, but I'm really not. That's why he jumps up here. Okay, so it doesn't look like that's the middle, you know, exactly even, but it actually is when you go to clamp it. So then I'm just going to glue this one to the center. And I'm actually, I think because I've lined this with paper on the back, I'm going to see if I can't cut some of these edges off without cutting the fabric. Because then that way you don't see the scallop pieces, and I might be able to wedge it in between those rhinestone pieces. Let's see. I don't really make a lot of smaller pieces, but I do. This one's pretty small in comparison to most of my shabby chic flowers. So, okay, I think that was good. And then I'm just going to glue this one in the center. I'm going to put a little glue on this guy and this guy because I think it's going to overlap. And then make sure this is fully covered. And I can't wait. This one's going to be so pretty. So, and there you have it, folks. Look how pretty this is. Isn't that gorgeous? Look how pretty this bracelet is going to be on someone. Looks like a wedding bracelet to me. So, folks, that was just my quick little DIY. I just wanted to show you that you can make... Oh, and this one's probably already dry. So let me just snap it on and see what you guys think. I think you guys might like it. Oh, it is. It's snapped on. So I put it the other direction, but look how pretty. Isn't that fun? I kind of like it. It's a challenge for me. I can always, sometimes it's a win, sometimes it's a lose, but I think that any kind of bracelet you do is pretty fun. I mean, really. I don't know if people wear a lot of burlap, but why not? My mom always says when I was a little girl, I would look good even in a burlap sack. Well, why not a burlap bracelet? All right, folks. Well, thanks for coming today for my quick little DIY. I hope that you guys use your Tuesday morning bracelets for other than just that ruby violet pieces that they give you with it, because, you know, there's so many things you can do with your scraps or broken jewelry that you just love. That one earring that you had a pair of that you can no longer wear. Use it for something like this, because that one earring can definitely be worn again. So thanks for coming today, folks. Happy Saturday.